Hello, this is wmpyr. For today's lesson, I want to be talking about knife strategies. Okay, first thing, I think a lot of people, we're talking about slashes versus stabs. And a lot of people want to focus more on the stabs. They feel like that's more practical. And probably the reason why they think that is because when they get on YouTube and they watch videos of people actually being attacked by knives, they see this, boom, 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 boom. It's all stabs, right? And that makes perfect sense. But what I want you guys to understand here is the context of the situation. What you're watching there is the finish, okay? This person is being assaulted and they're being finished. How did this come to that point where this is happening? It was probably an ambush. We're talking about an assassination attempt. So this person has a tremendous amount of advantage, and this person has no idea, and this person just ran in and assaulted them. They just bum rushed them and did that. That's what happened. Caught him completely off guard and attacked him, and that's it. So exact same situation, but let's change the tables a little bit, okay? So now this person is aware. They know that this person is trying to assassinate them, so they grab a weapon, maybe an improvised weapon or whatever, and now they're ready. They're like ready to fight for their life because they know that's what's going to happen. Their life is on the line. They're ready to go, okay? And this person still wants to come in and do this, but now they can't do that so easily. Why? Because this person knows, this person's ready, and this person's armed. So that changes things. And now the assassin wants to come in, but now is worried that they're going to also take a hit too, so they can't come in so easily now. Okay? That's the situation we're talking about. So in this context now, even though the assassin wants to do this repeatedly, right? Because they can't, now they're reduced to this, boom, 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 like this. They got to work their way in, right? So let's think of it this way. This is the small attack. And then coming in here and doing this repeatedly, that's the large attack. So we have small and large. The slash is your medium. So on the arm, so let's look at their arm right here. Okay, yeah, I could do this to the arm. I could poke at the arm, okay? But it's much better if I did one of those, if I actually slash the arm, right? So that's your medium attack. I could slash over here too. So you have a small, a medium, and then a large. You're working your way towards the finish. But in a self-defense context, you may not go to the finish for legal reasons, or, I mean, the main thing is you need to survive. You don't need to necessarily terminate this person, okay? Maybe survival equals terminate this person, but not always. That's not every case. So maybe just cutting them on the arm is good enough, and you both look at each other like, what happened? And then this person freaks out and runs away. Maybe that's all that happens, maybe. So you never know. So, but chances are in a self-defense situation, the medium might be good enough, okay? So you go from the small attacks, and now you have your medium. So the slashes now make sense if you look at it from that context. So today, I want to help you guys with different ways to practice your slashes. So let's look at the basic slashing model, basically the angles of attack, which we have your diagonal downwards, horizontal, and horizontal. So let's look at that again. 1, 2, you make a big old X, side to side, okay? And I said to you guys before, with the sticks, when you're training with the sticks, you want to imagine this like a rope, and you're pulling a rope down. So with this knife, there actually happens to be a lanyard sticking out right here. So I'm going to actually pull on that. So right here, I'm going to do this number 1 slash, and I'm going to pull. See, that's the motion that you want, where you actually imagine, so you're holding a knife or a stick, and you imagine that you're pulling a rope down. So that is the pulling motion that you practice. So once again, the diagonal down, imagine that you're pulling up, rather than reaching out and cutting, just pull on that rope. And then over here, same thing, pull on this, make that pulling motion, and then same with sideways, you're pulling. Okay, so that's your number 3, and then number 4 is this way. So same idea, is you're pulling on this rope, and that's your cut. The second way is rather than the pull, we're actually going to be pushing. So right here, rather than pulling, which is towards you, you're going to be pushing. So you put the blade edge onto the target, putting it onto the target like so, and you're driving it through. Okay, so that's different from pulling it back this way. Okay, that's the first method. So I hope you guys can understand that. So now you practice the 4 angles of attack that I showed you, which is the down diagonal. So now you have your hand now pressing downwards this way. Okay, so that's the motion that you're doing, and you're pushing into it. You should feel the web between your thumb and your pointer finger. You should kind of feel some force there as you push into that. So it's still diagonal, it's still the same angles, diagonal and diagonal, but the way that you're doing it now is like you're really pushing the body mechanics is now different. And same with sideways. I'm pushing in and pushing in, like so, okay? You don't have to do this. I'm exaggerating so you guys can see, but there we go. I'm pushing in. So, those are the 2 main ways to do your slashes. Now, what is the advantage, the pros and cons for each one? When do I do what? Well, it's not so complex. It's difficult to do in a real life situation, but the actual strategy is not complex at all. The pulling motion, as you can see, kind of, it brings me backwards. So when I want some more distance, I can do the pulling motion. So I'm in here, and as I pull that rope, it takes me more backwards. And obviously the pushing motion drives me closer. So if I want to get closer, I could use the pushing motion to get in closer. And if I want some more distance, I can do the rope pulling. So I hope that makes sense. Thank you for watching, and take care, folks.